Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and I got to tell you, I've been riding the Sonar system throughout this whole season, and what I love about it is how it all integrates. Anytime they do an upgrade on a wing or a fuselage or a mast or whatever it is, it all integrates into that system. And one thing that I've been waiting for, and I knew it was coming out, but I could not wait, is a 95 centimeter mast. This is really cool. Now, a lot of people go, why would you need a 95 centimeter mast, or why would you go longer, shorter as you go down in sizes? Well, I've been waiting for this because I want this longer mast, and the reason is I'm flying a lot of the higher aspect wings that are getting very wide. They get very, very efficient, but the reason is when you go wider, when you cut a turn, you want to try to keep that wingtip of that foil in the water, so that little bit more height allows me to cut a more aggressive type turn and keep that foil from cavitating or coming out of the water, which means it'll suck in the air and basically stops your foil from flying. So I was on a lot of the medium aspect type wings. Their MA wing is one of the sweetest wings out there. It'll do everything smooth. It's not quite as wide, and I had no problems. I was always riding on an 85 centimeter mast. I liked it. It was simple to get started for shallower type water. It also worked great in just swell, just average type wind swell. Everything else, I love that 85. But because I get into it and I'm turning a lot more aggressive, or anyone that's doing that type or running those higher aspect wings, getting that longer mast is a really sweet thing. It gives you that extra 10 centimeters. And a lot of people say that's not a big deal. It really is when you're foiling. You will feel like you've just got this extra room and space. As well as if you're in chop or you're in those waves that get that foil down a little bit further as you cut through a wave coming in, that definitely helps out. It's something that I like. It does make it sometimes, if you have onshore type winds or getting out in deeper type water, it takes a little bit of a challenge, but believe me that the longer it is to a certain point, and 95 is about that sweet spot of height and length, unless you're really racing and you want to jump into the 100 centimeter type stuff. But all around type people riding, experienced pros, whatever, there's really no reason to jump in unless you're purely racing over a 95 centimeter mast. So I cannot wait. I got this in. This is the first one in North America, and I'm going to get on this thing and do some testing. I could not wait. This thing's going to be awesome. So you got your all-around average 85. This is very common. If you don't have any problems with depth, as I said, bay chop and waves, 85 is perfect for that setup. Now you jump into the 72, and a lot of people ask, why would you go into a 72? Well, when you're learning and getting into the sport is one. Now, do you have to have carbon to learn? No, you do not. But most of the carbon gives you the stiffness, the rigidity, this is by far one of the stiffest masts I've had, and I've been able to get out there and fly on. I mean, it's unreal how they did the layup in these to get the stiffness that they've got, as well as how smooth it runs through the water with that stiffness. Sometimes the stiffness, they have to make them big, they have to make them fat to get that stiffness. But when you jump down to a 72, this really works in areas, let's just say like South Padre, down in there, you want to get out and it's very shallow. You can't get that longer depth. You will keep hitting your foil or hit the grass on the bottom. Going into a shorter type mast when you're learning, or as well as getting into the shallow type areas that you need to run in, that some people have to. It rides really well. But once you get off of a 72 or you're in a bay chop or any kind of wave scenario, you will cavitate that foil continuously. It just happens, especially if you get into a turn. You aggressively start doing your turns when you're on a short mast, you will cavitate that wing and pull it out, and it basically sucks in air and then shuts it down. So a 72 is good for learning and shallow must fly type areas. So that's where I'd recommend that. A lot of people ask, so I'm trying to get that information of why you would choose for that. So we have guys that are flying on the 85 and they may go down to a certain area or ride, so they end up getting the two mast sizes, and it fully integrates. You're in your bay chop and you're in your shallow water area. So anyway, that is the new Sonar. This new one is the 95. Full carbon fiber pre-preg. These are beautiful buildups. And again, I like to emphasize this fully integrates. No matter how old, if you've got reflex wings, you have aluminum fuselage that will work on these carbon, everything completely integrates. So anytime that they come up with new wings, they all go together. And I tell you, when this package comes out, this is one of the best ones. It has all of the padded covers for all masts, wings, complete travel bag for all of it. It's really cool. They've done a fantastic job. And I tell you, what really gets to me that I like about this stuff is I have not flown anything that is better than these. And you want to talk about saving you a lot of money. These things sit in probably around $1,500 to $1,600 as a complete full carbon setup. And I've been flying on them all this year. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at Kiteboarding.com. We like to set you up with gear that'll grow with you. You can continue on with it, jump into larger mass. I'm going to pop this on my kite. I'm going to pop this thing on my wingboard. I'm going to have a great time on it. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com.